What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and our 2020-21 NFL season simulations continue with the Cincinnati Bengals. We've done the Ravens and the Steelers so far in this division. The Steelers are 9-7, the Ravens 8-8. So with the Bengals to take first place in this division, they would have to get to 10-6, which might be kind of hard. And we don't know about the Browns yet. This is last year's Madden game, of course, but with updated rosters for the upcoming 2020 NFL season. So, first game is against the Chargers. Third quarter, we're tied at 17. Joe Burrow making his debut. A little flip pass there, and that is going to be a touchdown. The Bengals are going to take a lead. Remember, this team was awful last year, trying to improve in a big way this year with Joe Burrow at quarterback. Chargers would answer back with a touchdown, and we're tied now at 24, I should say. But they review it, and they actually say he did not get in, and so they'll have to go for it on third down and goal. Herbert, this time incomplete. What do you do here? You're right there on the goal line. You got to go for it. No, they go field goal, so we'll have a 4-point game here late in the third quarter. The Chargers would then add another field goal here, makes it 24-23 with about 13 minutes to play in the ball game. On 3rd and 2 here, Bengals trying to keep a drive alive, and they're not going to. Big stop by the Chargers defense. The Bengals get the stop, the Chargers get the stop, and then they go down and they kick a field goal. So 26-24, 3 field goals in a row there for the Chargers, but the Bengals have time. Under 5 minutes to play. They're inside the 10-yard line. Now on 3rd and goal, Burrow. What's he going to do? Oh, he takes a sack. Can't take that sack there. It takes the sack. They'll have to settle for the field goal, but that does put them on top, 27-26, and the Chargers will still have some time. Just over 2 minutes to play. Herbert to throw. That is complete, and he is inside the 40-yard line. That's going to put them close to field goal range. They get a little bit closer, use some clock, and kick the field goal here on 4th down to take the lead. But still over a minute to play. Game is not over, but time is ticking away here. Bengals out of timeouts now, 14 seconds. That's complete. Inside the 30, got to get out of bounds, got to get out of bounds. He cannot get out of bounds. They were not able to get another playoff, and that's how this game would end, 29-27. That's tough when you don't have any timeouts, but they will lose this first game in a very close one. All right, next game is against the Browns, and they'll lose this one, 56-31. The defense played horribly in this game, giving up 56 points, and that is not what you want to do in your first game in the division. Let's look at the stats. I think about 546 yards passing. That is ridiculous. Burrow had 420 yards. Wow, that is an impressive offensive performance there by the Browns. They then will lose to the Eagles 26-14, and so it's not a good start. It looks like last year all over again. They're 0-3. Defense hasn't played great. Burrow's actually looked pretty good according to these stats. They haven't had a lot of turnovers. The passing yards have been there. Haven't been able to really run the football, but they'll be 0-3 now as they move on to face the Jaguars. 17-10 here, Cincinnati on top. Jacksonville with the football on 1st and goal. Minshew's going to run with it, and he will slide into the end zone. Touchdown, Jaguars. We're tied at 17. Third quarter, late in the third quarter, there's a touchdown for the Bengals. They're up 24-17. Jacksonville with it now, 3rd and goal. Minshew trying to decide what to do. Finally gets rid of it, and that'll be a touchdown. Jaguars tie the game up. Here we are, tied at 27. Just over 2 minutes to play. Bengals with a chance to maybe get their first win of the season. They're inside the 20, inside the 15. And they would put together a nice drive, kick the field goal, use the clock, exactly what you want to do, and they'll get their first win of the year, improve to 1-3. Better day on the ground, 148 yards rushing. Defense played a little bit better. Still 27 points isn't great, but they got the win. That's all that matters. All right, back to into the division. They'll play the Ravens here on the road, 21-14 with that touchdown. Bengals on top. Ravens get held to a field goal. We're late in the third quarter. Wait a second. They're going to fake it. The pass is incomplete, and they do not convert. Interesting play call. They're not a bad spot to do that. The Ravens here trying it again in the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, they get stopped. This time, they'll kick the field goal, and there's no fake. Field goal is good. So we have a 21-17 game. Just over 10 minutes to play. 6 minutes now remaining. Bengals up 21-17. They will add to their lead, 28-17. Under 2 minutes to play now. Ravens will score the touchdown, and we have a 4-point game. 28-23. Actually, we have a 5-point game. They're going to go for 2, and they'll get it. So we have a 3-point game with just under 2 minutes to play, and they have all 3 timeouts, so they're going to have a chance to get the ball back here on 3rd down. Can they get the stop? It's going to be close. Yes, they can. The Ravens will get the ball back. and they have some time. 3rd and inches here, though. They've wasted a lot of time. The clock will run out, and that's going to do it. The Ravens, poor clock management there, which they had to use the timeouts to get the 3 and out, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But they didn't really come close there. Despite beating the Bengals in yardage, the Bengals do get the win, and then they beat the Colts 45-33. So after a rough start, after 3 losses in a row, now the Bengals have won 3 games in a row, and they improved their record to 3-3, up to 500. Very nice there, as they had forced a couple of turnovers and got the win here. So 45-33 was the score. I think that was the score. Anyways, let's move on now. They'll play the Browns again. This time they win at home, 31-17. So they're going to split with the Browns. That's good news if it does potentially come down to the Browns and the Bengals. Of course, Ravens and Steelers may be ahead of both of them. We'll have to wait and see. Let's look at the stats from this game, and they again forced a couple of turnovers. Gave up a lot of yards through the air again to the Browns. The Browns putting up some crazy numbers through the air. But this team is over 500 now. They're 4-3, playing the Titans up 20-13 3rd quarter. That is going to be caught for a touchdown, so we'll be tied now at 20. First play of the 4th quarter, Bengals will get the touchdown. They go up by 7. And the Titans would answer back. So back and forth we go. Great game going here, tied at 27. 2 minutes to play. Bengals will get stuffed here on 3rd and goal and settle for the field goal. But it's enough to give them a lead, 30-27 with under 2 minutes to play. What will happen now? Titans with it on 4th down. Ball game is on the line, and they convert and get into Cincinnati territory. 2nd and 2 here. That's complete. Inside the 20. But do they have time? Well, yeah, they still had a timeout. So they use their timeout. They come out, they kick the field goal. And this will be for overtime. And it's good, so we are headed to overtime. Great game going here in overtime now. The Titans with the football. That is going to be intercepted. Cincinnati's defense making a play. And he is off to the races. Will he make it? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Bengals. A walk-off pick 6. 5-3 now for Cincinnati. What a turnaround after losing their first 3 games. Now, this is going to be one of the hottest teams in the NFL as they get the win over the Titans. Let's move on now to the Steelers, the team that they are chasing in the division. Had a 28-17 lead here, but Pittsburgh gets a block punt for a touchdown. And we have a 28-23 game going for 2. It'll be still 28-23. They don't get it. 4th and 3 here for the Steelers. With 2 minutes to play. This is maybe the game right here. Roethlisberger completes it, but he doesn't get into the end zone. Yeah, he was short there. So now the Bengals will get the ball. They're stopped on 3rd and 3, and Pittsburgh will have some time, just over a minute to play. Can they pull off the comeback? There they go, inside the 10-yard line. 41 seconds to play now. Roethlisberger, the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. They take the lead, 29-28. Roethlisberger going for 2 now. They don't get it. Still a 1-point game and still some time for Cincinnati. Can Joe Burrow bring them back down the field? Well, that's not the play you want. They give up a sack there, had to use the timeout, and that is going to make it really tough. There's a completion inside the 30-yard line, but look at the clock. There's no way they're going to get up there and spike it. You had to get out of bounds. That's going to do it. Steelers will win it 29-28. Tough loss there, but still you had a nice stretch, several wins in a row. And they did get that one win over the Ravens. They've split with the Browns, so still looking pretty good in the division. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way. Playing the Washington football team next, and that is a touchdown. Gives Washington within 5. They'll go for 2 to try to make it a 3-point game. Haskins will complete it, and we have a 3-point game. Now Burrow and the Bengals inside the 15-yard line on 2nd and goal here. Going to roll out to the left, and he is sacked way back there on 3rd and goal. This is pretty much an impossible play. They complete the pass, but well short of the end zone. They'll go field goal, so they have a 6-point game, 20-14, with about 3 minutes to play. Now getting close to 1 minute. The Redskins will take it down to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 now. Washington. Oh, I said Redskins. I meant to say the football team. There's a touchdown for Washington. We're tied at 20. The extra point would be for the win, and it is good. Washington's going to win this one. Bengals will lose 2 in a row now to fall back to 5-5. Burrow did not have a good day here, just 116 yards passing, and they wind up losing this game. It was a close one. It was a good game, but they will lose. They do bounce back, though. They beat the Giants 42-28. Nice win here for Cincinnati. and they'll get back over 500. Remember, 9-7 is the record we're trying to beat. Now, that was the Steelers' record. As you take a look at these stats, look at the balance this time. Over 200 yards rushing. We haven't really seen that so far this season, but they get it done here, and will improving into 6-5. Then they'll play the Dolphins. They win again, and the Dolphins had a really good year. They were, I can't remember the record. I think they were 11-5. So that is a very big win to beat one of the top teams in the AFC. And I know that's crazy to think the Dolphins are going to do that good, but you never know. Here are the stats from this game. Nice balance, big day through the air, forced a turnover. A lot of good things going on here as they improve to 7-5. Next game is going to be against Dallas, and we'll go to that one next. All right, 42-13. They're going to lose this game, 42-13. So a tough loss there for Cincinnati. Dallas also had a really good year. I think they were 12-4. So not a huge surprise. I mean, obviously, if the Bengals are 7-6 at this point, I think most Cincinnati fans are going to be really happy. The next game is against the Steelers. This will be potentially a huge, huge game. They need to split with them potentially. They may need to split with them. After they lost earlier, you win this one, you can split and not lose a tiebreaker if it comes down to a tie. We don't know if that's going to happen. But this, again, is a huge game. Steelers had the lead, but there's a big turnover, an interception in the end zone for Cincinnati, and they have a chance to go down and tie the game up. Burrow going to swing it out, and that was not a good pass, and they will settle for the field goal. So 17-12 now is the score. They still here in the fourth quarter, under 8 minutes to play. Roethlisberger and the Steelers coming down, and they will get inside the 10-yard line with that play. And a touchdown here might be the end of the Bengals in this game. Roethlisberger to the end zone. There it is. There's the touchdown. Going to be very tough now for Cincinnati, but still some time. Minute and a half to play. They've got to get in the end zone first. That's goal number 1. They get inside the 5, and time again ticking away. First and goal, Burrow to the end zone, caught, touchdown, and they have the first score they need. Now they will need an onside kick or a really quick 3-and-out. They do not get the onside kick. Here we go, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 9. They can't stop them. The Steelers get the first down. That would allow them to run the clock out, and that's going to do it. 24-19, the final score. Cincinnati put up a nice fight, but could not get the win in this one. Stats were pretty even, but it's going to go the way of Pittsburgh, and they'll lose both games to Pittsburgh. That's going to be tough when you talk about the division race. Playing Houston next, tied at 20. Touchdown there for the Bengals. Steelers answering back with a touchdown of their own. We're tied at 27 here in the fourth quarter. Under 9 minutes to play. Burrow and the Bengals trying to get that lead back. 3rd and 10. They go, play action, and that's a big sack. That is a huge sack as Houston will get the ball back and have a chance to take the lead. But they get stopped on 3rd and inches. So both teams getting it done on defense in this one. And there is a deep ball here late in the fourth quarter just trying to make something happen. Looks like we're headed to overtime. Unless the Texans can get a Hail Mary, and that's not even close to the end zone. So here we go. Overtime. Houston ball first, 3rd and 5. A little screen pass. That is not going to get it. Bengals will get the ball now. What can they do with it on 3rd and inches? They will not pick it up. So defense is really taking control of this game. Houston now on the move, out to midfield. Oh, but there's a fumble on the play. Cincinnati picking it up, and they're off to the races. Inside the 20, the 10. That's a touchdown, and that's how they'll win the game. Crazy finish here in overtime. The defense wins it for them. Remember they had that one game where they won off a pick 6, so their defense making some plays, some big plays for them this year as they're 8-7. A chance to tie the Steelers here, but we already know they will not get the tiebreaker unless maybe there's a 3-way tie. But it doesn't look like this team is going to win the division. Potentially, though, a wild card spot if they could win this game. Even a loss, I think they're in the discussion. There's a block punt for the Ravens, and they're going to run this one all the way back for a touchdown. We're tied at 21. Fourth quarter now. It's 28-14. And Cincinnati, sorry, I looked at the score wrong. That was to put them up 28-14, not to tie the game. And that field goal makes it an 11-point game, 2-possession game still. Nice spin move there. The Bengals will get a touchdown here. I'm assuming they'll go for 2 and try to make it a 3-point game. Burrow, can he get it done? Yes, he can. No, he's out of bounds. Out of bounds. So they don't get the 2-point conversion, and this field goal would make it. That's why you don't. Sometimes you don't go for 2. I don't know. That's definitely a debate if you should have gone for 2 in that situation. Still a lot of football left, and now they will have to go for 2 if they score this time. And they get the touchdown. So if you just kicked the extra point earlier, now you would just need an extra point. And instead they have to go for 2 again. They don't get it, and they'll need an onside kick or a really quick 3 and out. The Ravens recover 31-29. And that run allows them to run the clock out. That's going to do it. They will lose to the Ravens 31-29. So they split with the Ravens. They're going to split with the Ravens, and they also split with the Browns, but they are swept by the Steelers. The Steelers probably going to win this division at 9-7. We haven't seen the Browns, but I would assume the Steelers will win it at 9-7. Now, is 8-8 enough to get into the playoffs as a wild card? Right now, the teams that would be ahead of them are the Bills. Are tied. The Bills are 8-8. They're potentially looking at a wild card spot. The Ravens are 8-8. The Bengals are 8-8. So 3 teams there at 8-8. There's no one ahead of them that is looking at a wild card spot right now. So we could have a crazy tie for the wild card with a bunch of teams right there at 8-8. That's going to be really interesting, and we'll break down those tiebreakers when we get to that point. But right now, we're going to continue to go through all of the teams, and again, then I will show you the standings, the playoff bracket, and we will simulate the playoffs. But that's it for the Bengals video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports Gaming channel.